Bid you a good morning in Boston. Currently looking at some cloudy skies there on the banks of the Charles. We're going to get to a high of 62 today. Nothing to complain about, right? On the hub of the first week of November, and that's about 7 degrees above the average. Is that going to make you feel better when I talk about the cool weather headed your way? But let's talk about the big picture, get you out the door right now. The overview shows you a lot going on, especially across the south, and you see that warmth in the east. But look at the snow in the Midwest. So let's start with how nice it is in through parts of the Northeast. We're talking about temperatures that are definitely going to be above average and on the dry side. And wherever you're seeing the oranges and the yellows, you're talking highs into that 70-degree range. 70 for you, Charlotte. 68 in D.C. today. 64 in Philadelphia. Not too shabby. State College coming in at 57 degrees and 62 in Hartford. So yes, eventually what goes up, though, must come down. So let's take a look now at what is off to our northwest, and that is the rain and the snow with this clipper coming on by. Typically clippers, not a lot of moisture associated with them, but they can certainly pack a punch when it comes to delivering some cold air, and that's what this one's going to do. It's going to be cold enough to produce some snow from Fargo to Duluth, rain on the south side, but yeah, you know, another big punch is coming, and that is going to be the one that everyone's talking about that cold moving to the south. Let's move to the south and talk about the rain, a lot of it. Some heavy rain along that front that's just really not going to budge a lot, and that is part of the problem. It does have a tropical connection, as much as 3 to 5 additional inches of rainfall. And for a place like Lubbock, you had a record daily rainfall yesterday of more than 2 inches. To say that soaking would be one thing, but it was the highest total for any November day on record. So pretty impressive. And that soaking rain in the southern plains is still there this morning. Meteorologist Mike Bettis is in Dallas, keeping an eye on the sky. And Mike, I know we started the show off with the low cloud deck. Looks a little bit brighter for you.
Yeah, daylight has come up here. I wouldn't bank on seeing much sunshine. It's going to be cloudy all day long, but you can at least see the tops of the buildings now. So the cloud deck has gone up some here. The rain has stopped, at least for now, but it'll be off and on rain showers for us throughout the day. Probably not as heavy as what we saw yesterday, where we picked up about 1 1/4 inches of rain. Pick up maybe another 1/4 inch today or so, but nice, healthy soaking for us here in Dallas. Just what we needed to kind of chip away at that extreme drought. You know, yesterday when we were in Fort Worth, we had a soaking there for Election Day. It's been Fort Worth. It's been Dallas, it's been Houston, it's been Lubbock, Wichita Falls. We've all gotten really significant rain, maybe slowing it down just a little bit on the roadways with the wet surfaces this morning, but I think a lot of folks will take this. In fact, in Dallas, our wettest day yesterday since third wettest day, I should say, since Memorial Day. So if that tells you anything, this was a welcome rain for us here in Dallas-Fort Worth. So a little bit of rain still to go today. It's not a heavy soaking like we had yesterday. The radar just has spits on it this morning, so I don't think it's going to have a significant impact on your day today. Just won't see any sunshine. And as far as the rain goes, at least the threat of it is there through your evening drive, maybe even dinner time, and then things clear out significantly for us overnight, and then tomorrow, and I think sunshine is back in the forecast before you know it. But it is a very cool morning. Temperatures only 50s. You can see your breath this morning, so that's the other thing you'll have to consider here in the Metroplex. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the rain in Texas, get some more specifics with it with Dr. Greg Postel in the lab this morning. All kinds of different directions that this moisture is coming from, Greg.
Exactly right, Mike. And it's interesting. You were saying it was 52 degrees and chilly, and it kind of seems odd that might have a tropical connection. It does. Actually, former tropical system Vance, which was a hurricane in the East Pacific, has sent some moisture Texas way. Let's have a look at the satellite pictures because you can see it right in front of your eyes. There it is right here. See that stream of moisture right there? This is associated with some of the remnants of Hurricane Vance, which is now disintegrated essentially over Texas, but definitely that plume of moisture continues to work its way northeastward across Texas and helping out the rain that would probably already be there in the first place with the front down there, but it's just got a little extra tropical kick to it, guys. There's the front right now, and Mike's up there in Dallas north of the front, so it's pretty chilly all across the cool rain, I might add, all across Texas, San Angelo, Houston, Dallas, and it's not moving very much, not very fast. If you can look at the radar, Austin, it's raining, Waco, Del Rio, even bits of Houston now getting into some of the rain, and it's going to be even more as we move through the afternoon. We can sort of time it out now for everybody. showing you that this plume of moisture and rain continues to flow that general direction through the afternoon and overnight tonight, ending from north to south. So by tomorrow afternoon, Dallas, you're dry. San Antonio, probably cloudy, but for the most part dry as that rain starts to shift on southward from there. This is how much rain we think is going to fall over the next couple of days through Friday morning. We're looking at 3 to 5 inches down there in western Texas, a lot less off to the north. Now that's where they need it more. When you think about the drought implications, they had some yesterday. That was good news, but where they need it the most in Texas is up there, and today they're getting it down here. They do need it, but obviously where they need it most right now, they're not getting it, and hopefully in the next couple of days and weeks we'll see some more rain that way. Maria, back to you.
And Greg, some of that rain along that boundary, it's also a big temperature divide, so that's another big story that we have for you. Maybe a beautiful day on one side and maybe not so much on the other. So let's talk about that south divided and play a little game of Find the Front. Well, it's certainly between Memphis and Atlanta because they have very different temperature stories going on today. The average highs, though, this time of year, which I think is kind of interesting, the same. But Memphis, you're kind of at where you're going to be for the day, into the 50s, and then Atlanta, you'll be climbing into the lower 70s. So looking at the temperatures right now, we're just about all starting off the same, but we have that divider there, that boundary, the clouds and the rain really keeping places like Nashville and Memphis steady state into the 50s today, but you can see places from Montgomery, Atlanta, Columbia, Jacksonville all climbing up into the low to mid 70s in some cases by 5 o'clock, 68 in Atlanta, but you're still in the 50s, Nashville and Memphis. So out the door, what you see is what you get. So we have the jet stream dip and that cold front pushing to the south. Later in the week, it's going to really take over the south. So eventually, everybody's getting that cool down. 5 to 10 degrees below average from Nashville to Atlanta and Charlotte. So what does that translate to? Well, for Atlanta, you're into the upper 60s tomorrow. Nashville still in the 50s. But you get to Friday, and now just about everyone on the board there is looking at highs in the 50s and the 60s. So the 70s got wiped out. 58 degrees, by the way, the average high. For Atlanta, more like December, so it's going to be cold on Friday. Well, a 1-2 punch of cold for the U.S. Chicago, that includes you when you get to see that big drop.
And not just cold, but 2 shots of snow as well there. These are great Smoky Mountain pictures. Who else could have snow covered by the end of the week? Last weekend we saw snow. This weekend again snow. Last weekend it was cold. This weekend's going to be cold.
Yep. Local on the 8's next.
If you have high blood pressure like I do, many cold medicines may raise your blood pressure. That's why there's Coricidin HBP. It relieves cold symptoms without raising blood pressure. So look for powerful cold medicine with the heart, Coricidin HBP.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
In the nation, misfortune doesn't take a holiday. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide and we'll replace stolen or destroyed items with brand new versions. Making sure every season is the season of giving. Just another way we put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Home improvement improved with the Home Depot Project of the Week. We take you step by step through great seasonal tips and easy to do projects for your home and garden every Saturday morning on Weather Center Live. And for more information and inspiration for your next how-to project, go to weather.com/Home Depot.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 70, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies, high 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
weather like never before.
Look at this.
Listen to that! Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Hi. Are we still on for tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Quick look at the weather. Nice today, beautiful tomorrow.
Tomorrow is full of promise.
We can come back tomorrow.
And we promise to keep it that way. Driven to preserve the environment, CSX moves a ton of freight nearly 450 miles on 1 gallon of fuel.
What a day.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
How can power consumption in China impact wool exports from New Zealand, textile production in Spain, and the use of medical technology in the U.S.? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 70% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
10 minutes past the hour. Welcome back into AMHQ. We want to say good morning to Cleveland, Ohio. Some big changes for you on the way. Temperature is going to be climbing into the high 50s, but you won't get out of the 40s by this weekend. And hopefully your Browns are hot because tomorrow they're in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So we'll see how that goes, right? Cold shot number 1. And you know, when we start with number 1, there's going to be a 2 and maybe a 3. So let's talk about the first shot of cooler air is that jet stream dips, and again, places like Cincinnati and Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Albany, all in on that one. 5 to 15 degrees below average from Chicago, Minneapolis, Detroit. Out there right now, you're starting off in the 30s and the 40s. 40 for you, Chicago, 45 in St. Louis, 37 in Minneapolis. See that icy blue color up there? Keep that in mind as we go through time. It's going to kind of hang out, kind of linger. So your one cool shot, you're still into the 40s and the 50s by the lunch hour. Not too bad, but you start to see the colors dip down. Now look at this map. Okay, these are the high temperatures today. See the red arrows up? Those are all areas that are seeing above average temperatures for today. Guess what happens tomorrow? No more red arrows. They're all pointing down and they're blue. So we're back to below average from Minneapolis to St. Louis and Cincinnati. Those are highs in the 40s and the 50s. And so with each little cool down, you're going to get a slight bump up and then you cool down again. There's round 2 for you, Chicago, this weekend where your highs stay into the 40s. You get up to 48 on Monday, but then comes the real deal. And by Tuesday, your highs are back down to 37 degrees. So it's 1, 2, 3 shots of cold air. You've been warned. 12 minutes past the hour. It's time now to take a look at the stories making headlines this morning with Anna Rittis.
Well, we begin with election results. A lot of firsts for a lot of states and a big shift of power in Congress. Republicans are the big winners, winning more than the 6 seats they needed to take control of the Senate. Kentucky's Mitch McConnell now becomes Senate Majority Leader after winning re-election. Republicans held on to seats in Georgia and Kansas and defeated incumbents in Arkansas, Colorado, and North Carolina. In Louisiana, no candidate reached the 50% threshold, so a runoff will take place in January. And marijuana wins big, but fracking loses. We take a look at those issues on the ballot at 9:30. We're learning more this morning about the explosion of that Virgin Galactic rocket plane over the California desert at 45,000 feet. The space plane broke up around the pilots. Federal investigators say that thrusted them at the speed of sound into the atmosphere with no oxygen. Both pilots were wearing parachutes, but the co-pilot who died never opened his. And turns out the survivalist who eluded police in the Pocono Mountains for 7 weeks wasn't roughing it completely. Investigators say Eric Freen had a laptop and Wi-Fi during his time on the run. Police say Freen stole Wi-Fi from open accounts in the Poconos, and that's where he had been staying for all that time. And they say because he had access to the internet, he could see where police were actually looking for him. So that's why he was able to elude them for quite a long time.
That's amazing. What a detail there. All right, Anna Rittis, thank you so much. I have some really cool video to show you.
Okay.
I want to take you now. Beautiful pictures coming out of China. Those plummeting temperatures have draped a forest in China's northernmost province in white. The treetops appear to be just blending right in with the clouds, making for just really amazing sights for all the visitors there, especially when the sun reflects off the ice when it hits the trees. I can only imagine. Absolutely gorgeous. Does it remind you of the movie Frozen? Have you seen
It
that
does.
yet?
I love that movie.
Isn't that great? That's what it reminds me. Just absolutely gorgeous. A winter wonderland. Well, we have another warm day on the way for the eastern U.S., but as I like to say, what goes up must come down, and temperatures won't be the only thing falling. Uh-oh. Winter weather expert Tom Nizzle gives us the scoop on who's in for not one, but 2 shots of snow.
And a slow-moving disaster on Hawaii's Big Island has stalled out for now. How long a reprieve could the town in the path of a lava flow have? When we talk live to an expert at the bottom of the hour.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Mommy, I made poo-poo!
That's great, honey. Where?
Life's bleachable moments need Clorox bleach.
Service to aisle 3, please. Service to aisle 3.
Children, I am your father.
We all have a Disney side. And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
This fall, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It will all start with the weather.
The weather's too important to cover in a few minutes.
It's starting to intensify.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
Look at this!
At City Furniture, every mattress we sell is covered by a 120-night security blanket. So you'll always know you got the best price on the best names in bedding. A Beauty Sleep Queen mattress set, just $4.99. Or buy a select Beauty Rest hybrid mattress and get the box spring free. Plus, enjoy same-day delivery and no interest for 18 months. See for yourself in the showroom or at cityfurniture.com.
Sandals Grand Antigua was incredible.
The pool was as large as the ocean.
And the beach was perfect.
We're still raving about the service.
He loved the diving. He always wanted to try it.
Our suite was so exotic, it even had a pool.
We dined at 9 restaurants.
All included, just like everything else.
But what I remember most was falling in love all over again. Sandals Grand Antigua. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Promo code FREE1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 80. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
"19 minutes past the hour. Check out this view from above. NASA images of the Appalachian Mountain Range on Halloween. Now, check out the next day. Yep. Snow covering up the mountain range. Isn't that pretty? Right? This is the storm that we spent all weekend tracking, and LeConte actually received a record 22 inches of snow from this system. Winter weather expert Tom Nizzle tracking 2 shots of snow now for the U.S. And it's that time of year, Tom. It's not necessarily surprising, but you know, the first real big blast can be a challenge.
It certainly can be, especially for driving. Our first shot of snow is going to come across the northern plains. I'm looking at cameras in around Devil's Lake up in North Dakota, where we see snow-covered roads right now. Let's show you on the radar what we have, and the radar shows a swath of snow now working its way into North Dakota. This is all due to a clipper system. This clipper system moves fast. It's relatively moisture-starved, so if we take a look, only 1 to 3 inches of snowfall total here, but these systems have a knack to actually produce some pretty heavy snow for a short period of time. So again, if you're traveling in this area, pay attention to the snowfall as it comes down and adjust your driving conditions. The clipper part of the system moving along very rapidly off to the east here, puts down a little snow in through the Great Lakes region, and then it begins to transfer its energy off to the coast. And this system is really going to energize along the northeast coast again, and there's a reason why. A lot of the surface weather features are energized by what is going on in the upper atmosphere. This is our jet stream winds here. I'm going to draw on the jet stream like so, and right in this area here, this area of white, we'll zoom in on that. That is the strongest part of the jet stream. Those winds over 150 miles an hour. In this quadrant of that jet stream is where we oftentimes see additional lift in the atmosphere that can intensify the surface weather systems. So how does this all play out? The system develops off the east coast here in that Friday morning time frame, works rapidly to the northeast and strengthens, and as it does, it brings moisture back across interior Maine once again. And this blue area is snow. It is going to be cold enough once again for snow across interior Maine. And guys, there's still 30,000 without power as of this morning in Maine from what I saw from the power reports. So additional snowfall here could be rough. As much as 8 to 12 inches, another foot of snow in places like Caribou. They've already had significant snow for the season here. Let's take a quick look at their snowfall statistics. So if we take a look at Bangor, Maine, they picked up a foot of snow already. Their average for the season is only a little over 2 inches. They'll probably pick up another couple of inches from this storm. And in Caribou, where they've had nearly a foot of snow, their average being 10 inches, they're going to see another foot of snow possible. That'll double their snowfall totals, more than twice what we normally see for this time of the year. So stay tuned. This could be another big event for interior Maine. We'll send it back over to you.
It has you thinking about the rest of the season, Tom. Thank you very much. You know, snowmakers are capitalizing on the cooler temperatures and really cranking out the snow at Keystone Resort in Colorado. The resort, which officially opens this Friday at 9 a.m., has picked up 5 inches of natural snowfall this week. Kickoff festivities for the 2014-2015 ski and snowboarding season includes complimentary hot chocolate and donuts. Well, hey. And there will also be lots of giveaways and a DJ spinning the tunes. And we invite you to join us tomorrow morning for our winter prep rally. Sam will be live on Copper Mountain in Colorado, and he's going to have everything you need to know to prepare your home, car, and family for the brutal cold and snow that winter will bring. And our team already on the ground getting set up. And one of our producers tweeting out this gorgeous sunrise over Copper Mountain this morning. So definitely make sure that you tune us in starting at 5:30 Eastern tomorrow morning.
Kate Parker is going to be there. We're going to tell you how to prepare. Yesterday we talked to Duracell. They have this fleet of trucks that help people during power outages.
Oh,
so definitely a lot of information that could be useful if it happens in your community.
All right. And speaking of communities, one that's been impacted by a volcano and lava flow.
And that's in Hawaii, that lava flow smothering a cemetery there. Take a look at this picture, sparing all but one headstone. What the family had to say about this phenomenon.
And the Santa Ana winds picking up in San Diego. Our expert, Dr. Greg Postel, takes a look at what causes these gusty winds to gain speed.
Making jackets that are built to perform anywhere is hard work. And at LL Bean, we take our job very seriously. Guaranteed quality, no matter what you're up against. From LL Bean.
Fact. When you take Advil, you get relief right at the site of pain, wherever it is. Advil stops pain right where it starts. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil. Fact. Advil liquid gels are faster on tough pain than extra strength Tylenol. And not only faster, stronger too. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil. Available at Walmart.
It's Ram commercial truck season. And if you want to build something ahead of its time, you'll need trucks that are ahead of the rest. Trucks with the best fuel economy, 28 mpg highway, the best towing, 30,000 pounds, best torque, 865 pound-feet, and the best payload, over 4,400 pounds. The complete lineup of Ram commercial vehicles is ready to help you start building tomorrow. Get a great deal during Ram commercial truck season.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. There you go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Let's get a head start on the holidays. Let's open something before Christmas. Not that. Those. And of course, a whole lot of these. Let's make merry, along with a few other things. Deck out that. Save all these and spread more of this. That's how to holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. 100 count clear or multicolor incandescent lights, just $2.50.
Experience all the real possibilities of connecting with family and friends. RealPad from AARP is now your easy way to share, enjoy, play, and celebrate. It's the tablet with free unlimited live help whenever you need it.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Happy anniversary.
Cherish moments like these with RealPad. Available at aarprealpad.org and at Walmart.
Put on your thinking caps. Evaporation rate equals 700 times the mean temperature divided by 100 minus the latitude plus 15 times temperature minus dew point temperature divided by 80 minus temperature times millimeters per day. So easy, Sam. A caveman could do it. Got it? Great.
That is amazing.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. The all-new season continues Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
KMHQ, it is 5:30. We are tracking one more warm day across the Northeast before the cool air comes sweeping in, and we've got more on that coming up.
Also ahead, we've been watching that lava as it slowly makes its way toward the homes in Pahoa. But on Thursday, the lava flow, the leading edge, stalled, just stopped advancing some 400 feet away from homes. Coming up, we'll talk to an expert about why it happened.
Now, today is the last what we'll call warm stretch here for parts of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. It's all relative, right? Relative to what's average. Let's take a live look in D.C. Busy night there after the elections. 57 degrees. Right now, you're going to top out near 70. Now, by Saturday, yeah, not 70. In fact, the low 50s. So what's going to be happening between now and there? Well, the cooling trend is going to begin. Take a look at this awesome shot. This is taken from one of our former weather producers, Sherry, there in New York. She's taken this from Brooklyn, and the clouds there look like a nice comfy quilt. That's kind of how I put it. But you do have some clouds. You'll get a little bit of sun in there, peaks of it, just a little bit. But notice those temperatures into the 60s through this evening down into the 50s. If you're looking for the really warm spot today, it's going to be in places like D.C. But you do have that warm air relatively settled in place. Here comes the jet stream dip, and that's what is going to deliver the cool punch as we get into the later part of the week. And what does that mean? Well, anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees below average from Burlington, New York, D.C., and Pittsburgh. Temperatures out there right now, the I-95 corridor pretty toasty into the mid and upper 50s, but Pittsburgh, Buffalo, you're starting your morning off into the upper 40s. Here's where we're headed for today, the upper 60s from D.C. to New York, Boston around 62 degrees. But see the blue hours, those are pointing to those areas that are going to be below average. Pretty much everyone on the map here tomorrow. The one holdout, D.C., you're going to hang on to the mid 60s for another day, but here comes Friday, and you see a lot of blue there, right? 42 in Pittsburgh, that's your high, that's it. New York, 52, and even D.C., you're back down into the mid-50s, and that's about 6 degrees below your average. Let's take a look at Boston. You know, this time of year, whenever you have a little bit of a dip, it gets a little bit tougher to kind of rebound, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. Your average high, 55 degrees. You're not near that again until early part of next week. Now, heavy rain, that's been falling in Lubbock, Texas, and this is the scene yesterday. They picked up just over 2 inches of rain, breaking a record for the wettest day in November. And that previous record was set back in 2001 with 1.59 inches of rain. So you broke that record pretty easily there. More rain expected in the southern plains today, and our Mike Bettis is live in Dallas, tracking the storm, tracking the rain. Mike, what day is it?
Maria, what day is it?
It's hump day. You're crazy.
It is hump day. Yes, indeed. We are here at Fuel City Ranch. They have camels in Texas. Who knew they had camels in Dallas? And I don't want to assume anything about the forecast, Maria, because you know what happens when you assume. It makes out of you and me. So enjoying our time here with the animals this morning. We're not necessarily enjoying our time in the weather. Take a look at downtown behind us here. It's cloudy, it's gloomy. Even some of the tops of the buildings a little bit obscured by the low clouds this morning. Despite the low clouds at about 600 feet, everything is still going off as planned out of DFW. If you have a flight, I think you're in good shape. The roadway's a little wet. We still have sprinkles out this morning. Not nearly the deluge that we had yesterday. We picked up a healthy 1.25 inches of rain in Dallas, our third wettest day since Memorial Day, so it was welcome considering the extreme drought that we're in here in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. How much more rain do we have to go? Well, in Texas, plenty. It's going to include places like Houston. You're going to have some rain today. Lubbock, I think we're done. We picked up record-setting rain yesterday, but Austin and San Antonio will have some issues with the rain today as well, and flash flood watches are in effect there. Today, off and on showers that go through the afternoon and evening, probably right through your evening drive here in Dallas, but it's lighter amounts of rain, probably another 1/4 inch or so. That's going to be about it. I don't think it's going to be enough to really slow you down that much here in Dallas, but I've got to tell you, it's just one of those gloomy days where it doesn't bring a lot of sunshine, but it does bring hump day, Maria, so you can't go wrong here in Dallas when you've got the real thing on hand.
Can I technically say we need to steer this segment in a new direction? Because I saw the bull behind you. Anyway, thank you, Mike, so much, as always. 34 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at this aerial footage. This was shot yesterday of lava from the Kilauea volcano, and that continues to show very little activity. And that's welcome news for Pahoa, village of about 950 residents who have really just been on alert for weeks. And the molten rock slowly creeping toward the people of Pahoa Village has paused for now. But geologists are monitoring lava breakouts further upslope. And Dr. Joseph Dufik, Associate Professor for School of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences at Georgia Tech, is here. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us. This has fascinated us for a long time, following it from the beginning. Why has it slowed?
It's slowed because the flux of magma coming out of the system has changed slightly, and this is very extended from the vent, actually. And so it's slowed because it's cooling down and freezing. That doesn't mean that the magma has really stopped. It's still continuing to inflate the lava flow, which means it's flowing underneath the crust that's frozen, but the very far point of this tip of the lava flow has actually stopped.
Which is why the scientists are still looking upstream to see what's happening there. And what is happening?
Well, it's magma still coming out of the ground, but you can't always see it. It's kind of formed this carapace of rock that's basically frozen out, and magma's moving underneath it, taking advantage of this rift system that's moving to the northeast.
So we know, Hawaii is made of rock from lava, and we see it all over right now. There's so much of it. What's ahead for the residents there? I mean, is it possible to move it, clean up after it? How do they move on?
It's very difficult. Basically, all of Hawaii is a big lava flow.
Right.
Lava flows, and so they probably won't move it. Just kind of live around it. After a few years, some plants will start to grow on the top. Tens of years from now, larger plants will grow and just adapt to it, probably.
It's tough for the residents there, for the people in Pahoa. It's a little town on a big island. What's next for them?
Well, the lava flow could completely stall out as it has now. It's possible that some of these other fingers could reactivate along the flank. So it's uncertain at this stage, and no one can really predict. At least at this stage, they should have plenty of warning, though, if it does advance towards the town.
Are there things that we're learning from this right now that maybe we didn't know before?
A little bit. This is an interesting eruption. It's like a lot of these flank eruptions. This volcano in particular is being well monitored by the Hawaii Volcano Observatory, the U.S. Geological Survey, and they're the best in the world at what they do. And so they have quite a bit of monitors on this volcano.
Is this kind of lava flow an indication of anything down the road for the island?
No, this is kind of a standard operating procedure. There'll probably be more eruptions and lava flows along the sort of risk system as we go forward in the future.
Okay. Dr. Dufik, thank you so much for your time. Fascinating stuff. We'll, of course, be keeping a very close eye on the breakouts, and would like to invite you back as we follow, the conditions that are happening there. So again, we appreciate your input. Enritis?
Thank you, Maria. I want to show you this social picture that's been just dominating Twitter and Facebook. Before coming to a stop, the river of lava flowed into a cemetery in Pahoa, smothering tons of graveyards, all except for one. Take a look at your screen. Lava sparing this headstone. A few days before the lava reached the graveyard, the family placed flowers on the headstone and said goodbye. They were surprised to find it still standing in a sea of black lava rock. The family says it feels like Pele, the Hawaiian volcano goddess, spared the headstone, and they are thankful to know it is still there. It is incredibly chilling, and just to know how spiritual Hawaiian people are, this means a lot to them.
All right, thank you, Enritis. Blustery day in California. Blame the Santa Ana. We'll be back.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So here's the story of Lancaster. The year is 1890. Milton Hershey has a killer recipe for caramel. Flash forward, Milton's recipe is reimagined into buttery, rich, smooth, surprisingly soft creams. It's Lancaster. It's caramel reimagined.
We're new to the Pacific Northwest. The rain, the mud, but bam, it's there. The outside comes in. It's a Swiffer wet jet. Oh, I love this. I could do this every day. Ugh, sunshine is overrated. Now we can get messy.
Under the roof of a home or business, damage can happen. When it does, turn to the specialists who put help in the palm of your hand. The Ready App and emergency response plans from 1-800-SERVPRO, like it never even happened.
Can this decadent fruit top pastry with indulgent streusel crumble be from Fiber One? New Fiber One streusel.
In the nation, misfortune doesn't take a holiday. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide and we'll replace stolen or destroyed items with brand new versions. Making sure every season is the season of giving. Just another way we put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with Relief So Smooth. It's fast. Tums Smoothie starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
Can you start tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's share the news tomorrow. Today we're fairly busy. Tomorrow we're booked solid.
We close on the house tomorrow.
Want one of these opened up? Because tomorrow we go live, everybody.
It's a day full of promise. And often, that day arrives by train.
Big day today? Even bigger one tomorrow.
When CSX trains move forward, so does the rest of the economy. CSX, how tomorrow moves. For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But there's a new card in town. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The Citi Double Cash Card, the only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase, with 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Sometimes it's nice to have a little help redecorating, and Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries offer all kinds. Their designers will even come to your place for free. Let's see what they can do with great Aunt Enid's Victorian vase and my favorite colors. I guess the question really is, what can't they do?
Come in now during the Veterans Day sale. 0% interest for 36 months.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
It is 18 minutes for the top of the hour. Welcome back into AIM HQ. And Dr. Postel is here with me because we were talking about California. It's been so dry. They're almost in this perpetual fire danger situation. And when you hear Santa Ana thrown in with that, that's never a good thing. But unfortunately, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there is a fire risk today, in part because of that Santa Ana condition that they have. This is kind of a low end, I think, Santa Ana wind threat for them. And all that is really, if you look at sort of this three-dimensional view, the Santa Ana wind is a drying katabatic wind, meaning it's a downsloping wind from the higher elevations that are located to the east. And when you have that east wind flowing down to parts of Southern California, that air sinks, compresses, and dries out. And when you have very, very low relative humidities, it's very easy for a spark to become a fire.
Right.
And so that's one of the big problems.
And they're very gusty, too, which is hard for firefighters to...
That's right. And this time around, we're not looking at super high wind gusts that could do a lot of damage. It's not about that so much this time around. We're getting, we think, 50-mile-per-hour winds at most. But what really is going to be the primary problem is the dryness and the lack of humidity. I mean, if you think about it, if your car is dragging a chain behind it and leaves some sparks or something like that, that could start a fire. There's so many different ways where you just don't even think it could happen. And it does in a kind of environment like this.
All right, Dr. Postel, really cool way to describe what's the setup is there out west. And those gusty winds, as you mentioned, coupled with the hot temperatures, going to ratchet up that fire danger. And meteorologist Crystal Egger is joining us live now from Los Angeles with more on that. And Crystal, you talk about that a lot, that combination. So we're definitely on high alert.
We certainly are. Great to see both of you. And, you know, Dr. Postel was talking about how this is not a strong Santa Ana event. We are certainly looking at more moderate winds. We call it marginal when we see those wind speeds at 40 to 45 miles per hour, but just enough to really dry out the air. We've had such a persistent offshore flow that the air mass is drying with each day. So we have those humidity levels very low. Now, typically we'd get some clouds here at LAX. We're right by the Pacific Ocean, but an offshore flow squashes the marine layer. It really does not stand a chance. So the offshore wind will be with us all day. The canyons and passes get the strongest winds. The Santa Clarita Valley, San Fernando Valley, the IE, that's our inland empire, coming out of Cajon Pass, very gusty this morning. Just warning everyone to tie down some of the loose furniture they have outside. Red flag warning for that combination of dry, warm, and windy weather. So we're expecting temperatures to climb as a result. These winds come offshore and heat up the air, as Dr. Postel explained. So we're going to be up to about 90 degrees in the inland areas today. 90 degrees in November. I almost said October. November. You can even head to the beaches today. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s. So despite the recent rainfall we had, the air is very dry. The fuel moisture continues to dry out. So fire crews will be on high alert here today. Maria?
All right, Crystal Egger, thank you so much, live from Los Angeles, and clearly got the magenta memo. You look gorgeous. Thank you, Crystal. Now, at 45 minutes past the hour, it isn't only the Republicans celebrating wins this morning. Anna Rittis has a look at some of the top news there.
Yeah, Maria, that's right. A lot of issues on the ballot impacting millions of people across the country. Let's start with recreational marijuana. We put all the issues here on the board for you. It's approved by voters in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., in Oregon, and also in Alaska. In Washington state, voters there approving increased background checks for gun sales and transfers. Now, the Texas city of Denton becomes the first in that state to ban the controversial practice of fracking. And in drought-stricken California, voters approve a $7 billion water bond that became a priority for lawmakers and the governor. So let's take a closer look at that Proposition 1. And they're borrowing $7.12 billion. And its purpose is for storage projects like dams and to clean contaminated underground water. It would also protect and restore wildlife habitats and watersheds. Voters in the Dallas suburb of Denton, Texas, approving the state's first restriction on the controversial practice of fracking. Fracking is used by oil and gas industries to gain easier access to underground supplies. They use this machine right there that you see on your screen, and it has been linked to an increase in earthquakes in some areas, including Texas. 59% of voters approved the ban. Denton's Mayor Chris Watts says he expects oil and gas companies to sue, and he says Denton is ready to fight back if that happens. Maria?
All right, Anna Rittis, thank you. A typhoon halfway around the world is about to kickstart a series of blasts of cold air. We explain.
All great heroes start somewhere.
Where are we going? How should I know? We live on the flippin' frozen tundra.
From DreamWorks Animation comes the untold story of how four brothers became the Penguins of Madagascar. Skipper.
Grab your coconuts and hold them tight.
Kowalski.
We're approaching our target.
Rico.
He's working on a whole nother level.
And Private.
We'll need a diversion.
You're up, Private. You just mermaid my day.
DreamWorks Penguins of Madagascar. Rated PG, November 26th.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin. Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 80. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Progresso. I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding. Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress. Uh-huh. You don't love the dress? I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
Making coffee?
Yeah, enough for two.
Try 4, buddy.
I'll take a dark roast.
Chai tea, please.
Honey, text the man what you want.
French vanilla. Make it strong.
The all-new Keurig 2.0 is here. Brew for one, brew for all.
Meet the lumberjack whose flannel was out of whack. Freedom to move is what he lacked, even when woodland creatures attack. Until he put Duluth free swinging flannel on his back, with armpit gussets to whack and hack. Now he's known as a lumberjack. Duluth Trading free swinging flannel. Swinging made easy. Flannel made burly. Get it only at DuluthTrading.com.
Happy birthday! Make a wish, buddy. Okay, now Mom's gonna cut the cake.
We all have a Disney side.
Who wants ice cream?
And the best place to show it is Disney Park.
I'm almost done.
Now you can pay your bill, manage your appointments, and check your connection status. Anytime, anywhere.
Oh, so you're protesting? Okay.
Introducing Xfinity My Account, available on any device.
Want to watch all your live TV channels on any device in your home?
With Xfinity, every channel that's on your TV is on your tablet, anywhere in your house.
Oh my gosh.
You can do this on your phone also. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on a tablet.
You can watch all your live TV on any mobile device.
Ooh, that's exciting.
You wouldn't have to argue ever again.
That is a great idea.
With live TV on every device in your home, everyone gets to watch what they want. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play today and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Call Humana now at 1-866-680-4971.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
8 minutes before the top of the hour, could a tropical system halfway around the world impact our weather right here in North America? Dr. Greg Postel and winter weather expert Tom Nizzle are going in depth from the lab. Guys, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, it can. You're exactly right. I mean, the jet stream has all kinds of wiggles in it already, but this kind of interaction gives it a little bit more.
Yeah, it really does, Greg. And you've got a very interesting satellite picture here to show.
Yeah, let's have a look at the satellite picture. I mean, all the way on the other side of the world, really, in the West Pacific. This is halfway across the world. There's a pretty strong typhoon out there, was once Super Typhoon Nuri, but you don't need a textbook to tell you that this thing is interacting with the rest of the world. You can see the satellite pictures. You see that stream of clouds? There it is. It's already kind of giving the jet stream a little bit of an extra kick right now.
Well, it really is, and those clouds going all the way to North America. I'm looking at the energy on here and how this forms.
Yeah, and then as we move through the next couple of days, this thing is going to morph into a giant winter storm over the Bering Sea, and it's then even going to have even more significant impacts, I think, on our weather. And let's go and have a look at the maps and see if we can find that.
That is going to be very interesting. Let's take a look at this, Greg. And this is your specialty, by the way. I really like the description that you have of how this tropical energy eventually impacts North America.
Yeah, pretty well known in the research what happens when you have a tropical system moving northward, it kind of bumps up against the jet stream, punches it a little bit, and nature likes to balance things out. So when you give it a push, it pushes back, kind of like a rubber band. And that's often what we see with the high altitude winds flowing away from the tropical cyclones. They punch the jet stream, they strengthen it a little bit, and you get a little more wiggle to what may have already been there in the first place. But still, oftentimes you get this familiar pattern where we have a ridge in the west and a trough in the east. That's common with this.
That is a huge undulation. You know, we've got
speaking of undulations,
no expense here. I'm going to give you the one end of the rope here.
So you're going to tie me into this problem here?
And I'm not going to let you hang yourself on this one.
Don't
so
do that.
Pull this out.
I'm going to go a long way from you, as far away as I can, because you know I really want to get as far away from you as possible.
That is about as far as we'll let you go.
So you're tied up. All right, so I'm Nuri right here in the West Pacific, Tom. Ready? I'm giving the jet stream. See those little waves rippling? There's one.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't really go that fast, but the idea is that I'm making an impact on the jet stream and giving it a little more kick than it would otherwise have. But, Tom, as Nuri moves into the North Pacific, becomes a winter storm, a big one. Uh-oh. There are going to be some bigger wiggles in the jet stream. I see if I can do this. You were teaching me how to do this.
There we go. It's all
bigger wiggles as I get. Yeah, and there it is. There's the ex-Nuri.
So you get this huge undulation in the atmosphere with the jet stream. You develop this major storm. This is one of the most intense storms we've seen on record. The Bering Sea, you're going to see 40-foot waves out here. Commercial fishing going to have to stay in port. But this has that impact on what happens downstream in North America, doesn't it?
Yeah, it throws that warm air way north up here. And in response, remember how the atmosphere is kind of always responding to something? In response, it brings that cold air southward, Tom, and talk about how cold it's going to be.
Very cold, and there's that dip in the jet stream, that huge undulation, much colder air. And by the way, Greg, across the Great Lakes, and the Great Lakes are still relatively warm, you're going to see a lot of lake effect snow turn on. But take a look at the temperature departures from what we normally see here. Getting into that Tuesday time frame, Chicago 37 for a daytime high, some 13 degrees below normal. And as we get into Wednesday, even Atlanta down here, 15 degrees below normal. You can see how far south that cold air really tracks here, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. This is going to be a major outbreak, and it isn't going away too quickly, is it?
No, it isn't. These Arctic outbreaks very easily make it south, Tom. You know that. I mean, they just, when they really want to, they're all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And you know what? You and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
If you had to bet one way or the other, is it going to verify colder or warmer than this? What would you say?
Probably colder than normal. We see this time and time again. We've got to be ready for that.
Stay tuned. It's going to get cold.
It will be interesting. Get your woolies out, guys.
My weather producer, Catherine Prosov, said the models were kind of favoring a little bit colder solution each time around. So here we go. Well, a dangerous fall staple in California's Central Valley is back. If you've ever driven from Los Angeles to Sacramento, you know what I'm talking about. This is Tulle fog. The National Weather Service in Hanford took this time lapse. Very fitting. The video is actually shot at Foggy Bottom Road. Now, why is it so thick in the San Joaquin Valley? Well, cold mountain air descends into the valley during the night and is trapped there. And the cold air condenses into fog. The cooler temperatures, less sunlight of the fall and the winter months make the fog very slow to burn off, lift out of those valleys. And look at what we have there this morning from the bottom to the top of the valley here. Anywhere from about 2-mile visibility in Bakersfield to Hanford, where you're just about at zero. So what that means, if you're traveling the 5 and east of there, you got to make sure you give yourself plenty of extra time and just make sure there's plenty of distance between you and the car ahead of you.
And don't put your high beams on.
No high beams.
All right. Well, Christmas, it's on its way to New York's Rockefeller Center. The iconic Christmas tree is en route to New York City. This year's tree is an 85-foot tall Norway spruce from Pennsylvania. You're taking a live look at New York City. It was cut down about a half hour ago and placed on a flatbed truck for the 3-hour drive into the city. The tree will be illuminated for the first time on December 3rd. I love it how we're just tracking its path.
We are, like Santa. We try, yeah, I know.
All the way until it's decorated.
It's such a fun time of year. Radio City, by the way, is already decked out in Christmas stuff. Right. All right, that's going to do it for us on AMHQ. I had to look at the clock to make sure it was. Indeed.
That went by fast.
Have a great Wednesday, everyone. Tomorrow, our winter prep rally.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 80. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Today on Wake Up with Al, the South Central U.S. preparing for another round of heavy rain and showers. How much do we see, and when does it clear up?
Yeah, it could be some heavy rain. Some places tattooed like a breaded veal, man. Hey, take a look at this. Folks in the south and the northeast, enjoy the unusually warm weather while you can, because you're in for a cool down the next few days.
It's never washed up in all the prior storms. After Sandy, it didn't wash up. Now we find it, 2 years after Sandy.
What a beach restoration project along the Jersey Shore unearthed, and why the discovery has historians excited to find out what else might show up. It's all right here, right now, on the Power Hour of Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning, everybody. November 5th, 2014, 7 a.m. in the West, 10 a.m. here in the East. Welcome to Wake Up with Al, day after elections.
That's right. We're coming to you from New York City with all the weather information you need, so let's get right to the top 3.
That's right. Everything you need to know to head out the door. First of all, down south, the heavy rain threat continues, but some of this rain beneficial for our friends in Texas on into Oklahoma, from Midland, San Antonio, Dallas, moving east into Memphis. Another shot of warm air, the last one for a while. In fact, ahead of this front, look at these temperatures. Montgomery, 5 degrees above average at 77. Savannah, 5 degrees above average. D.C., 7 degrees above average. And then here comes our first big shot of cold air of the season. Buffalo's going to see 39 by Friday, a high of 46 in Chicago. D.C., 55, and Boston will only see 47 by Friday. Let's get to today's top story. Heavy rain with Alex Wallace in Atlanta.
All right, thanks so much, Al. And I tell you, nowhere around it right now, the Lone Star State, it is getting soaked. Wet morning for a good chunk of the state. Same system that brought record rain to Lubbock last night. We're talking 2.01 inches of rain falling here. That number smashes the old record of 0.58. That was sent back in 94. Rain, though, has moved out of Lubbock. That's good news, but farther south, we're still finding it. Cloudy skies, though, Amarillo to Lubbock right now along 27, but you can see as we expand the view, we are still dealing with the rain. San Angelo, San Antonio, up towards Waco, the Dallas area as well. We continue to follow along our front up into Arkansas, northern Louisiana, parts of Tennessee also finding yourselves on the wet side. So let's take you through the rest of our Wednesday where that rain is in place. Austin, you can see through at least your afternoon, still hanging on to more of that rain down around Corpus Christi. Houston, you're not going to be immune from this rain either. At times, could be steady, moving into Louisiana as well. Through the evening, the rush hour home is going to be a bit of a wet one. By the time we get in towards around 7, 8 o'clock time, looks like Dallas, the bulk of the shower activity will be to your south. So here we are tonight, anywhere in the green, having to deal with more of that rain, spreading your way eastbound as well into the lower Mississippi Valley. Be on the lookout for that. In terms of how much rain we anticipate, looks like the bigger totals will be here in Texas. A pretty widespread area in that sort of mid shade of green, 1 to 2 inches there. Then we get into the dark shade, 2 to 3, and there could be a spot here for us of 3 to 5 inches. Cannot rule that out. So some decent rains, beneficial rains coming into Texas. Now we move into parts of the southeast. Charleston. Cool start to our numbers here with temperatures in the low 70s. And we're going to get a chance to get a nice warm up here across a lot of the south. So all in all, a lot of us are enjoying some pretty nice conditions, including us here in and across the southeast. Check it out right now where we are finding ourselves. 54 around Canton, 59 in Charlotte, one of the warmer spots. Charleston down towards Tallahassee where we're finding our 70s. What's knocking on the door? This cold front. And guess what's going to happen? It will slide through and it will bring in some much cooler numbers. And you'll notice that as we work our way through the coming days. Now, today, your high in Canton should get up to nearly 70. So, then down around Tallahassee, 81 degrees. But look what happens north and west of the front where the cool area is. Memphis, High for the day only 58 degrees. Now, what's happening as we head through the late week is dipping the jet stream here. Trough diving its way south and eastbound, and as that happens, colder air will be funneling its way in southbound. So we've gotten a chance to sort of warm up a little bit, but that's not going to last too long. Tomorrow, mid-70s Montgomery, 70 and around Atlanta, but then we watch the bottom drop out here for us. Low 70s, giving way to 58 by the time we get into our Friday. Almost 10 degrees below average. Al, back to you.
Let's get you started off with our weather headlines. Let's start off with some amazing video of the aurora over New Zealand.
Oh, that is spectacular. Isn't that great? I mean, this breathtaking time-lapse video is compliments of the European Space Agency.
Those Europeans are always so nice.
Yeah, they sure are.
It's taken by astronaut Alexander Gerst while aboard the ISS, shot at about 250 miles above Earth, perfectly capturing that green aurora australis glowing in the night sky.
Nice. I don't think that was taken with a Polaroid Instamatic. I think that was taken with some pretty significant stuff. Good technology.
I think so.
Meanwhile, out on the West Coast, Californians, hold on to your hat.
And bad toupees.
Ooh, there you go. Exactly. Because a wind advisory is in effect for this afternoon for mountain areas just outside of San Diego and up into Los Angeles. San Gabriel's, it's going to be roaring. Gusts up to 50 miles an hour through the passes.
That's right. And as this Santa Ana gains strength, red flag warnings also going to be popping up. That's because we got low humidity, dry conditions, and that could fuel fears that wildfires could start and spread pretty quickly.
My goodness. Well, from fire, we go to ice. Check out this beautiful coating of it. Frost has recently covered China's northernmost province.
This forest in the Greater Mountains seems to have been covered in a snow-white cloak. Treetops appear to blend in with the clouds above, giving the residents there and tourists alike a majestic skyline.
Happy pictures, happy clouds.
Time now for the day ahead. Here's Alex.
Let's do it. And we slide into the Midwest, upper Midwest, Great Lakes region. For the 10 o'clock hour, mostly quiet. You only find some rain, pretty much Ohio Valley. So south of there is where the shower activity will be here. But notice a little bit of wet weather and even some wintry weather across the northern tier here. Not quite reaching around the Twin Cities. A bit too warm for that. You'll be in the 40s. Dropping down, though, as we head into this evening to the upper 30s. Still at this point, liquid rain. But I tell you, just north could run into a little bit of snow. Showers getting into Green Bay tonight. Same around Chicago. Otherwise, Detroit, Cleveland, looks like you'll be enjoying a pretty decent evening with temps in the mid-40s. Let's talk about Chicago and how your day will fare. We'll start it out for the 11 o'clock hour. A mixture of sun and clouds, a fair time, but the clouds build a bit more. And eventually, once we get into tonight, we do see some rain trying to sneak its way on into Chi-Town. Pacific Northwest, pretty quiet here. Maybe a few light showers across the Olympic Peninsula, working down into western sections of Oregon. But staying west of Portland, for you, you'll be in the mid-50s with some clouds around. Medford, though, you see the sun poking on through. Boise looks pretty nice with temps in the 60s, dropping to the 50s as we start to make our way back home from work. Low 40s around the Helena area. You'll be looking at dry skies as well. So the only real rain threat, the Pacific Northwest. We'll send it back to you, Al.
Hey, we got a successful stakeout for one officer in West Virginia.
That's right. He didn't catch the bad guy, but instead he captured a meteor that was streaking across the sky with his dash cam.
Yeah, that's right. Sergeant Luke Thomas says caught surprise when he saw this fireball falling from the sky Monday night. Back at the station, he Googled how to report a meteor.
Good gosh. Sky rockets in flight. Hey, his report ended up being just one of, get this, 400 American Meteor Society reports they received, spanning some 14 different states.
That's pretty impressive.
It is crazy.
Pretty impressive. Well, coming up on Wake Up With Al, a post-Sandy project on the Jersey Shore digging up some national attention, literally.
That's right. The crews have dug up a very mysterious object, what archaeologists believe could be the wreckage of, well, we'll let you know coming up.
熟練の技革新1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと待てよあれこれってクライスラー
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
For halftime.
Okay, I'm gonna draw something up new. Wait a minute. Wait, the quarterback.
Share what you love with who you love. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. They're great.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
This week on Weather Channel Mornings, record lows in the east, our first major snowstorm out west, and we're tracking a storm that could affect travel plans for millions. Live team coverage from North Carolina to New England. Watch Wake Up with Al and AMHQ with Sam Champion. This week, only on the Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather like never before.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Let's get a head start on the holidays. Let's open something before Christmas. Not that. Those. And of course, a whole lot of these. Let's make merry, along with a few other things. Deck out that. Save all these and spread more of this. That's how to holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. 100 count clear or multicolor incandescent lights, just $2.50.
Introducing Nexium 24-Hour. Finally, the purple pill, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, comes without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
For the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
Taking a look live at Wrigley Field. Catchers and pitchers report in 12 weeks. So, you know, just to get you through this next shot of cold air, think those warm thoughts. We got this cold air coming in. By lunchtime, Chicago, you're only at 51, 58 Kansas City, Louisville 56. High temperatures, not much better. Upper 50s to low 60s.
My goodness. Well, you know, the Cubs are actually getting a new manager in town, plus they're getting that new trough that's going to build in. By late week, we can expect cooler air, not just for Chicago. Oh, no. But into Cleveland, even in Louisville, St. Louis also.
That's right. So as you watch those cooler temperatures, let's go to the beach right now. A mystery discovered under the sand on the Jersey Shore.
That's right. See, there was a beach construction project that unearthed an object. And although the identity is still unclear, it has maritime historians very excited.
That's right. From our friends at WNBC, Mr. Brian Thompson has the story from Brick Township.
It may not look like much more than a pile of old timbers, but this wreckage could just possibly be that of this ship, the Ayrshire, which foundered off Squan Beach 164 years ago, but launched a revolution in nearshore lifesaving.
If this is indeed that vessel, it had the fortune of wrecking right in front of a lifesaving station equipped with the life car to test. And they were very, very successful.
The life car looks like this. And on that freezing January day in 1850, 201 of the 202 immigrants and crew on board the Ayrshire were brought ashore to safety with a device never used before, but used often after. This wreckage was found buried under some 20 feet in the sand by a construction crew building a steel wall to protect Brick and Maniloking from a future Sandy. It actually broke one of the pile drivers being used on this project.
It's never washed up in all the prior storms. After Sandy, it didn't wash up. Now we find it, 2 years after Sandy.
But it is not clear yet what this wreckage comes from. Any number of ships were lost along this stretch of the shore, including this one, the Cornelius Grinnell, also right off Squan Beach. The state will send in an archaeologist with ground-penetrating radar to further investigate in the next week or so. But if it is a ship, and not, for example, a barge, there could be a small treasure trove of personal items dating back to the mid and early 19th century.
They are, in fact, time capsules.
Whatever happens to this wreckage, and if it's of historical value, it won't be left here. The state DEP says this steel wall, except maybe here, will be finished on time before winter. In Brick, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
Wow, and that steel wall, they expect it to be completed by winter, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's right. Well, the installation of that steel wall, it's pretty interesting. It's great to see just the shore come back to normal, but the discoveries you'll have.
That's right.
A little bit of sand moving away. It's amazing. Hey, let's dig into the sand and find our own little discovery named Keith Carson.
That's right. He's got the next 7 days. Hey, Keith.
Hey, gentlemen. Yeah, let's talk about the 7-day forecast. Today, the focus is down across the south where we have a cold front right there. A few snowflakes possible across Wisconsin, Minnesota as well. Not a big deal there. By tomorrow, this system becomes a larger one. Now, the difference between this and our last system, this is what we call an inside runner. It's on the west side, so it's a warm storm for the most part. Looking at rain in New York, in through Boston tomorrow, all the way down in through parts of Texas. There will be a little bit of snow with this system, but the snow will be confined to northern New England. They could see a good 8 to 12 inches there. Middle part of the country, quiet on Friday. Pretty warm in LA, by the way, coming in at 84 degrees, 82 on Saturday. Much of the country starts the weekend on a good note. Temperatures cool in Boston and New York. Atlanta coming in below average at 62 as well. Sunday, now we start to get a system that's going to come out of the northern plains here and dig down, so we'll be looking at some snow there. Not terribly unusual for this time of the year, to be honest, as you get into the northern plains on Monday. 34 in Minneapolis and some snow, so winter just kind of trickling on in. Al?
Keith, thank you so much. Well, coming up on the program, two of the greatest minds in weather joined for an expert update like no other.
That's right. And also, this typhoon holds the potential to become an even stronger winter storm. We're talking with Tom Nizzle coming up and Dr. Greg Postel.
There's confidence. Then there's trusting your vehicle maintenance to Ford Service Confidence. Our expertise, technology, and high-quality parts mean your peace of mind. It's no wonder last year we sold over 3 million tires. And during the big tire event, get up to $140 in mail-in rebates on 4 select tires.
In the nation, misfortune doesn't take a holiday. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide and we'll replace stolen or destroyed items with brand new versions. Making sure every season is the season of giving. Just another way we put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
If you suffer from a dry mouth, then you'll know how uncomfortable it can be. But did you know that the lack of saliva can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath? Well, there is Biotene, specially formulated with moisturizers and lubricants. Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy, too. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
Discover Brookside and discover an exciting combination of tastes. Rich dark chocolate covering soft centers, flavored with exotic fruit juices. It's chocolate and fruit flavors like you've never experienced before. Discover Brookside.
Happy birthday! Make a wish, buddy. Okay, now Mom's gonna cut the cake.
We all have a Disney side,
Who wants ice cream?
and the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
This week on Weather Channel Mornings, record lows in the east, our first major snowstorm out west, and we're tracking a storm that could affect travel plans for millions. Live.
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial prearrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own prearrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
A ballpark flame grilled patty with the guys. Can it get any more American? Boom. with 100% beef, bold, juicy, ready in about a minute. Flame grilled freedom.
Eczema can just really put a damper on a lot of things. Constant itching and scratching. I'm not myself.
Gold Bond Eczema Relief Cream. Used daily, it's proven to relieve 5 frustrating symptoms of eczema.
Gold Bond Eczema Relief really works.
50% with 5 screenings for $149. Call now at 800-393-7147.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. The all-new season continues Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Minutes past the hour now. In the warmer weather months, this is about the time we would do the tropical update. But it's cold. But we thought, wouldn't it be great? It's like Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes.
We get chocolate in my peanut butter, get your peanut butter in my chocolate. We've got not one, but 2 experts. We've got Greg Postel.
Yes.
And Tom Nizzle.
Unbelievable.
Together. Why is this, gentlemen? What has happened?
Well, we have the tropics and winter kind of mingling together right now. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff, guys. You know, we always read about how weather in one part of the world can impact our weather here. It's happening in front of your eyes. You don't need to go to a textbook. Look at the satellite pictures. You can see that we've got Typhoon Nuri in the West Pacific. There it is on the globe. Watch this, guys. This is the coolest thing. You will see the clouds streaming away from 115-mile-per-hour Typhoon Nuri way on the other side of the world in the West Pacific, moving out across the globe, and that is already adding some wiggle to the jet stream right now over us. But you know what else? Nuri is going to be moving into the Bering Sea in a few days' time, become a powerful winter storm. And to talk about its impacts on us, then let's talk with Tom Nizzle, our winter weather expert, combining the tropics and winter all in one.
Oh, this is great. Peanut butter and chocolate. I don't know which one you want to be there, but hey, this has been your area of expertise for years, Greg, and I really am fascinated by how the energy from tropical system, when it gets into higher latitudes, can have an impact on the weather in North America.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing because tropical cyclones are like heat engines, and the air flowing out atop at high altitudes, what that does is it thumps the jet stream and it intensifies it, it strengthens it. And so the atmosphere kind of likes to have a balance. So when you punch it in one direction, it will respond back like a rubber band, like that. So what we're seeing is wiggles in the jet stream even right now that are being altered around, and that oftentimes leads to ridging in the west and troughing in the east, which is the familiar dipole of warm in the west and cool in the east. But that's not it. We're going to have a big winter storm in the Bering Sea as remnants of Nuri move that way.
Wow, we start out, and this is the biggest storm I think we've seen on record in the Bering Sea. The central pressure is so low in this storm, 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts here, and 30 to 40-foot seas. Boy, the fishing community is going to be in port for this. But this has an impact on what happens in North America. You talked about that. Let's take a look at how that cold air from up in the Arctic regions of Canada actually works its way all the way down, not only across the northeastern part of the U.S., but once again, almost all the way to the Gulf Coast. And Greg, I'll tell you what, these westerly winds coming across the Great Lakes here that are still relatively warm with the coldest air of the season is going to turn those lakes on to produce a lot of lake effect snow.
Yeah, this air has a history of residence time north of the Arctic Circle, so we know where it's coming from.
A true Arctic Express, and by the time we get into next Tuesday, temperatures some 15 degrees below normal, a high of only 24 in Bismarck, but look at Chicago, 37 degrees. As we get into Wednesday, even colder departures from what we normally see and much farther south, 51 for a high in Atlanta, 34 in Kansas or in Cleveland, and some of these temperatures will be as much as 20 degrees colder than what we normally see.
Yeah, and there's a risk to the forecast. It always tends to sort of verify colder than forecast. So we'll just see if that happens. If it ends up being colder than actually forecast.
Sounds good. Peanut butter and chocolate. We'll send it back to you.
That's amazing stuff. Hey, guys, question for you. I don't know which one of you can handle this. That globe, do they keep that in the basement next to Brian Norcross's lair?
Oh, we can't comment on that one. We'll let that go.
Yeah.
Okay, I just was wondering. Okay. Well, an amazing time-lapse video from the International Space Station.
Yeah, very compelling. Coming up, we're going to have the details of this amazing sight right after the break. That's coming up in just a few moments. By the way, isn't it great seeing those two together?
I know. They were amazing.
The greatest convergence since Fred and Barney meet the Schmoo.
There you go. Hey, let's check out Detroit. Again, they're going to be experiencing those brutally cold temperatures. Right now, a little on the cool side, 42 degrees. We'll see temperatures in Detroit getting on up into the 50s. As you look live in Atlanta from our friends high atop the Coca-Cola Tower, you can see, again, another beautiful day. Temperature's going to be about 7 degrees above average, 52 now, warming up into the low 70s, but cooler times are coming.
Oh, beautiful times there, all the way from Stone Mountain clear down to Forest Park. It's going to be a beautiful day for you, and even down in Kennesaw, nice times in the heart of the South.
You're watching Wake Up with Al on the Weather Channel.
What do astronauts eat?
Have lunch with one and find out. Only at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Meet real astronauts, see Space Shuttle Atlantis, and experience firsthand the future of America's space exploration.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. There we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson DC59 Motorhead? Before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush power to out-clean the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
Gorilla Tape, of course. Gorilla Tape's double-thick adhesive grips rough and uneven surfaces for a strong, weather-resistant hold for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
The Dueler tires on Terrence Knighton's truck are engineered to be Bridgestone's best SUV tires, and now they have an 80,000-mile tread-wear warranty.
Guess we're gonna be here a while.
First time on a treadmill?
What are you saying?
I'm just saying.
With an 80,000-mile tread-wear warranty, the Dueler tires are Bridgestone's best SUV tires. Go to BridgestoneTire.com to find a Bridgestone dealer near you.
You want to fix this mess?
A mess? I don't think...
What's that?
Snapshot from Progressive. Plug it in and you can save on car insurance based on your good driving.
You sell to me?
No, it's free. Want to try?
I try this if you try not this.
Okay.
What does a 37 million horsepower launch feel like?
Experience it for yourself. Only at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Meet real astronauts, see Space Shuttle Atlantis, and experience firsthand the future of America's space exploration.
This week on Weather Channel Mornings, record lows in the east, our first major snowstorm out west, and we're tracking a storm that could affect travel plans for millions. Live team coverage from North Carolina to New England. Watch Wake Up with Al and AMHQ with Sam Champion. This week, only on the Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 80. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 81. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
This morning on Wake Up with Al, want to grab the umbrellas and the ponchos, especially if you're in the south central U.S. You're going to hit with drenching rains and showers. Will it affect your morning commute?
It may indeed. And hey, you know, folks, you know what's coming. Those of you along the East Coast, prepare to say goodbye to the... Exactly. Bye-bye. Farewell to the warmer temperatures you've been enjoying because the cool down, it's on the way.
That was it. You know, it was crazy. He told me he's going to jump a football field, and I was like, all right. You know, then he came and asked me if I'd build him a big ramp, and that was it.
This is definitely not for the faint of heart. We're going to chat with the director of a movie following the lives of motorcycle enthusiasts around the world and how weather actually affects every race. As the power hour of Wake Up with Al motors on. Yow!
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.